Here we are with little Chrissy Sue Stoughton. We're about to go over the Bay Bridge. We're going down to Oxford, Maryland, and Chris is driving. Here's a view
Have a seat, please.
of the bridge.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, here we go. Now this is the bridge.
Chesapeake Bay.
Chesapeake Bay Bridge.
This is the Chesapeake.
Ooh,
Wow.
BMF. I'm going to pan a little right here. Yeah. Pan this a little bit better. Not getting much of a view here.
Also nice, so it's hard.
Just holding it up here, hoping for a good shot. Coming up on some major spans here. This is one hell of a bay, I can tell you that from what I can see and what you can't. Big, big area. Looks like we're opening up the Lake Erie over on the right. Plenty of room to learn what you're doing.
This is a bridge I thought we were going to have to cross for our plane. Nose dive right into the water. Oh, it looks a little brown.
Alright. I don't know why I'm taking this pictures, it's really not that interesting. But there's some nice real estate. Here we are. This is the town of St. Michael's. Lots of small dockages, not a lot that's real big.
Did you get that on tape?
St. Michael's Inn. Sun's just come out. We've just been down by Tillman Island. Forgot to crack the video. Looks like somebody's anchored out there and they're just coming in their inflatable to check the place out.
With the big wooden mast behind them.
Yeah, those are the working booms of the shrimp boats or whatever. Shrimp oyster boats. This is a boat we found in Oxford. It has basically a Cape Dory design. And it is a pretty damn thing. Oh, hello. Hi, folks. The lines on the boat look like it's just barely been used. 700 hours on the engine, and we'll bet that pretty much that's been the time on the boat has been motoring. Engine's a real tight fit, tight access. Noticing the detail on the boat, looking at things like the chafe pads for the lines.
It's autopilot, Hydra B&G. Got 738 hours on the engine.
Okay. All lines lead aft, tight hydraulic, backstay, stored inside. And here's the galley. Interior is white.
Excuse me, Alex.
Seafrost unit. That's engine access. Now look at in here.
Because at that point when we were selling them, it's sort of like, and then they always say, now, why is the owner selling it? And you go, Jesus, now what is the story? What?
Yeah, it's the one that rotates.
Right.
They, they'll get more trouble when they get to Rhode Island. I think. I'm glad you took the time to show us.
No,
I
I mean,
appreciate
this
this.
is a nice boat. That angle's probably nice. You sit here and lean back. It's safe because it's pretty high. Yeah, you're right.
It's almost the reverse.
This is what it is, big sell point. One head forward and shower within the head, not particularly contained by anything. And the mask keeps you company while you shower. Now this is a boat that I found to be very, very attractive. It's an Allied. It is not for sale that we're aware of. As I understand it, not a commonly found boat. It is a boat that you can find. Has a white interior. Pretty damn thing. Stand behind it, it's just so gorgeous. We got up top here. Raytheon, okay. Okay. Oh, she rigged. Nice dodger. Don't know if you can see the minnows in the water right below the boat. It is as pretty a boat, I think, as I have seen. Taking some look inside, you can see a little bit. Watch Jim fall in the water. Looks like white counters. Looks tastefully done. This is helpful as all hell, isn't it? And guess who was out looking at us? Isn't she pretty?
Never seen them, they just got bombarded over there.
We'll start the narrative a little bit later, but just a brief view here of Stonington. We've just got on a launch. There's young Chris, young James, and our pilot Ben, and a Concordia yawl. And we're going out to look at a couple boats. All right, here we are inside the Rainbow. Chris, myself, Jim McFarland on board. James is tearing up,
Wrecking things.
wrecking things. Rear quarter berth. Previous owner, one owner only. Owner was 6'8".
Box?
Nice little. Generally, what they do is do something like that, babe.
What was the combination you used?
3487. It's because I got a little plastic dish in here. You'd sweep it in, but that's so you can pump.
Pump like hell if you have
Yeah,
to.
there's a aluminum handle here someplace. Solid rod.
I thought maybe that might be
You got a
a similar combination. I was
Yep.
just trying to try, but.
Sorry about that, folks. Got a little out of focus. Let's get back and take a look.
Or just 4 and 7.
12-volt heating system or a 12-volt cooling system, and radiator for the cooling system outside the engine compartment. This is good.
That one doesn't feel as heavily padded. You can tell it was probably slept on more.
Oh, I would change all these cushions by new foam.
But you know that out of all the boats we have sat in, these are probably.
A while. We'd have to sit here and have dinner or something. You might find it
Okay,
uncomfortable.
arrange that.
Standard marine head,
Yeah, we like to
and
try
that comes
free
out
for
as a
free,
shower.
A lot of the storage areas are I'd almost think you'd want to put some type of. And I guess it depends what you're storing. With close confined, that's not a problem.
Not much of flying over there. So it's good.
And
It's not-
storage.
I like it because
Okay, that
it's
one is-
airflow.
Okay. Got it.
And that's a nice arrangement. The only thing is I would probably do away with it. It's not enough, Chris.
Jim just remarked shipmates stove, good name.
Jim remarked that boat sucks. Don't fly. Our rule of thumb would not apply in this boat. 1 foot of bookshelf for every foot of boat.
Yeah, well,
Our water tank is down here,
Mhm.
below the cabin sole, welded into the hull, where you've got them in the seats.
mhm.
And that's all our can storage and so forth, additional weight down low. I don't see a lot of can storage, but that is easily.
And the galley.
I'm thinking of
compensate
whether we
for the
really
rest.
want to bring in the sails and store sails and stuff like that.
You're not gonna have, I don't think you're gonna have all that many sails, are you?
Yeah, I hope, well, but
That's your, this is a water lift muffler, or water lock muffler, depending who says it.
This engine's a water-cooled engine.
Well, it's freshwater cooled, raw water cooled. It's both. The actual lining of the engine, I'm going, without looking again, is her pickup in the front. I'm popping around. You know that's going to have a glass of oil.
The hatches will probably have to be replaced, as will the teak flooring be regrouted and filled. That's about the only negative here. Impressed with the rigging, Norse ends on the rigging. Just a real sweet looking thing. We think we've spotted damage on the starboard side, that she got popped once as well, but we couldn't see interior evidence of same. Ritchie compass, boat shows some wear and tear. Back has got fitting for Aries wind vane. And here's a look at the girl as we're pulling off.
Thank you very kindly, sire.
Half circle around the boat, please, Ben. sweet lines. Very sweet lines. She been everywhere. She been everywhere. I'm sorry, wrong goddamn speed. Thank you, sir. Tons of storage here. Tons of it. Look at this hanging locker, all in the aft cabin. And appears to have a heating system.
Changes something on this.
View out the rear quarter.
See the door latch, you can.
And major hatch. Phew. Chris,
Yeah.
smile. Great GPS, so-so radar. Nav station's not bad.
I look at a lot of these.
As you can see, this berth pulls out, and here are lead claws to keep you in the saddle, so to speak, while you're there. And because God has a sense of humor, I absolutely love this boat, and she doesn't. Jim is taking the brunt of Hurricane Christine right now as she's saying what she doesn't like, and Jim is trying to say, well, yeah, but it ain't no big thing. By the way, every time that you lift up these floorboards, it's factory clean. There is no bilge, odor, stain, or anything. Same for engine compartment. The boat is very, very well kept. It's Bristol kept. It's just perfect. God, this is pretty. Everything you could imagine and want, it's here. It's beautiful. It would survey out, and she don't like it.
At the dock at all? Stand by, I'll check it out. Standing by on 7-8.
Wonderful boat is.
Hey, Jackson, come in, please. This is Minnie, go ahead, Dawson. Yes, sir, how long would you like to be at the dock? As long as I can possibly get in there for at least 2 or 3 hours if possible. I have to check. I'd like to be able to give you that kind of time. I have to check to see if any of these boats that are here are going to be vacating because we have a few guests arriving. I want to make sure I don't double book here. Stand by and we'll try to help you out. That's affirmative. Many arms, standing by, 70.
And our go, Randy. Here we are, beautiful downtown Newport, Rhode Island. Started checking things out. We've just had some Starbucks coffee, checked in with David Walters, and are now going to go in and take in a bookstore and maybe a little bit of a salad. Come on, Chrissy, tell them what's up.
I'm hungry.
Oh, okay. See you later. Just stopped and came by this and thought it was just a very cute little way of an entryway. It's to a gallery. And here's some stone. I want you to take a look at this heron and the construction, which is brass. And that's how the whole creature looks. Just very nice. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. This is all I need. Wonderful. And I think that's a little Buddha over there. Yes, it is. I want you to take a look here. This is the salads that we got today. I'm just piled high with shrimp scallops and a tortilla shell with some red onion, honey mustard dressing.
Thank you.
And here's a little Chrissy salad. And, well, hello. Here's little Chrissy. So what do you think, folks? And this is the Red Parrot. Just checking things out. We're fairly close to a window. And that's the post office. And right over here is Perry Mill, where we're going to go a little bit. Back on top and in the cockpit on Rainbow.
Did you get this stuff opened up? Shot?
No, it did not. Okay, on 3. Here you go.
This is a storage area underneath the, what is it?
Rear
D-berth?
quarter berth.
Rear quarter berth.
Talk
There's
about
storage.
deep. How deep and
It goes all the way. What do you mean?
how far back does this storage run?
It goes all the way back down to the, I don't know, 7 foot. And then
Okay.
there's another area there that opens up that you
So a fairly big storage area underneath
Right.
there.
and then behind that, there's also a hole in the wall where you can store more things.
Okay, very good.
This up here is a shelf area that stores some things. I'm not sure what this is. There's a fan back in here. Okay, I gotta put this back in. This will stop.
As you come down the companionway, off to the left is a sitting area, which also has storage in it,
Pots and pans.
for pots and pans, and a hanging locker for
Wet
wet gear.
locker.
A wet locker.
Yeah.
Wet locker meaning that there is a drain in the base of it that'll go into the build.
It's only for us. Okay.
An idea or a suggestion that might be an area where you could put a generator set if you were trying to increase your capacity of your batteries. Okay.
Freezer.
Now, as you look into the refrigerator and freezer, what you're going to see here is a coil system which is not as efficient as a plate system. And that is what you're seeing here. Plenty of room. Pretty deep, but not efficient. Navigation station is rear facing towards the companionway. Storage here, access. Most of the instruments are somewhat dated here.
Storage here.
You go inside on the sailboat, what you're going to find is that all of the hatches are pretty well worn and would have to be replaced for any serious sailing. They are all showing a lot of wear. The engine in here is also a BMW, which is sort of a rare find. It is tough to be repaired. We also would want to make some considerations in that regard. The electronics, about the only electronic of serious value is the ship-to-shore radio. Right there. A fairly new install. What you see here is the four-peak. Four-peak has separate chain lockers for a separate chain rode. Not particularly substantial. That's just a piece of plywood in there.
That's pretty good in there.
Okay.
Yeah,
It'd be better if it was some sort of laminated or something that was a little bit better for the weather. But separate
looks like teak, though.
chain rode. Okay, here's Chris in the four-peak, and it gives you a little bit of an idea of the size. She's laying down there and taking a photograph of the four-peak area. This type of dresser drawer arrangement on either side, and a nice hanging locker. Wave again. Over here. Again, because of the size of the boat, fair amount of stuff that you can put into it. Interior is dingy, not particularly clean. Looking at a second storage just past the
I want to turn around here and
that area.
shoot this.
Okay. All right. All right. And here's your four-peak stowage. Again, roomy. Sleeping bags, garbage bags. Just a whole lot of shit. And
That's where your mildew smell's coming from,
here
right
we
there.
are.
At least part of it.
Well, then leave it up, babe.
Well, I don't, that's their decision.
No, we'll leave it up. Just
I don't want it, I guess it's.
probably one of the bigger or more appealing aspects of this boat is that it is fairly long and fairly open, and this is something that seems to draw Chris to it quite a bit. Wide openness, and I am sitting right now on the corner of the four-peak. And you look back in here, this is the shower head with basically your shower removing from those faucets over there. That's your standard marine head. Nothing fancy. Somewhat of a drawback is that the only ventilation is right here. Opening port or door head here would be very nice. No opening ports on the side. We do have the hatches popped forward and amidship,
I still have one here.
plus the companionway that we haven't opened up. There's one over the sink we haven't opened up. We're getting a nice breeze now, and it's a light day. Table is substantial, sturdy. These fit nice. The previous owner, the only owner was 6'8", an insurance guy for Aetna Insurance. His son worked with Sparkman and Stevens, and may actually have worked with Lyman Morris, and oversaw the construction of the boat. More storage on the boat behind your settees. And a kerosene heater, nice for New England. The stereo system is pretty much a throwaway. Mostar, yes. This is a sample bilge access. This is our fuel tank right down here with a dipstick. Gives you an idea of the general condition of the boat, general condition of the bilge. As you can see, not a whole lot of work done on it. A little bit of water. Pretty much needs some elbow grease. Looking at the back, we come up The unit is equipped with a radar. That's your GPS antenna, the left side of the radar. Everything seems to be pretty much the issue they had when they did the circumnavigation, which translates into old, as well as the solar panels. Back is equipped for an Aries wind vane. Don't know what this pup is. Looks like somebody came up and had a little bit of juice and food on the boat, because there's a kid snack type stuff. I wonder if Grandma and Grandpa had the kids up on it. This is supposedly how they take it cruising. That's Chris up at the forepeak. We're looking back. The sails would have to be redone. A particular area of concern is the deck and the deck work. What we're talking about here, friends and neighbors, is when we look down, you're seeing things like this, and that basically is where the teak is starting to come up. And we've got spots like that over the deck where that is occurring. Also, when you look down here, what you'll find is that you'll come back. Let's see if I can get, yeah, here's spots like this where the caulkings come out. So the whole thing needs to be redone and recaulked. A no fun job. Looking here at the mast, when we took a look under the floorboards in there, the mast is sitting in a bunch of gunk. It probably needs to be pulled and cleaned off so electrolysis doesn't take place. The heads on the stays are Norseman heads. They're good stuff, but pretty much everything else has, again, got to go. Over on this other side, a cut hole, just sort of taped over. Now we're on board a boat called Stormy Weather, which is another Sigwin, but it is a fundamentally different boat. It's much better maintained, much newer systems. Lazy Jack sail system. Hell, where do I start? Come back. The design is fundamentally different with a center cockpit. Hatch to a head. There's two heads in it. Reporter berth. Boat just coming in. Looks like a Toshiba. Back on board here. Here's your life raft. Here's the back locker with just an absolute ton of stuff in it. And on board like that. Capability to put in another shorter stay forward of the mast. Grounding tackle is somewhat light unless it's stored somewhere else. Coming back. Everything is just marvelously maintained. That's your AC unit. Everything is just real damn pretty. A look above with a fairly substantial spinnaker pole, which deck just recently all gripped. Down here is what she looks like as far as the interior. It's just a gorgeous little boat with a couple of cosmetic exceptions, but it's got a ton of stuff in it that the other boat doesn't.
Her bilges are the same dirt. It's just as dirty as Rainbow's.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I couldn't believe it.
All right, a
There you
little
go.
cosmetic thing here.
A lot of water down. A lot of something down in here.
All right. Oops, sorry. Hang on, let me come around. Take a look at the bilges. Oh, yes, they are.
I just find it interesting.
Systems are wholly different. It's a whole different setup.
Stop with your feet.
Whole different setup in here. Cold plate refrigeration system, which is Seafrost.
See, this is sitting in water. We saw that yesterday.
Yeah.
That's just as dirty.
Okay.
This was maintained by a captain.
All right.
And air conditioning, not heating.
Yeah, Florida boat. Look at the galley. top of the line stuff in the galley, with the exception of the microwave. Nav station is a standing nav station, and wet bar. And fridge.
But
Seat
you're not
cushions
getting the
there.
ground, like you said, the ground tackle.
Yeah, outside was recently repainted. The finish in this forward cabin and in this boat, as you can see, is a lot different. Newer fans. Take this area over here. Doors finished. Things closed up, so things aren't coming out. Just not so much of an open area. Questions that are raised are, is it nice or necessary?
Same deal.
And an overhead port in the front head, which we like.
There's also some rust around the edges.
And we've got a fair amount of opening ports in here as well. Alright. Walking back past the wet bar into the rear cabin, which Rainbow would not have. Just an amazing, amazing setup here. You've got onboard air conditioning. A little head in here. And this is the shower area. Behind the mirror in the companion is your compressor systems for the engine.
Garbage drawers.
Our little galley bunny, Chrissy Stoughton. Chris likes the opening ports. I like the boat.
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
But I don't think we want to get. We don't have a stat sheet. We don't know what else we need. We need to move on. Because we're going up on 20 to 5.
I know. I'm just showing everybody what this looks like.
Oh, look, there's a bridge over there. We're going to go over.
Yeah. Whoops. So we're about to get up here. Show you some stuff. This isn't working like I want. Oh, we'll try something else. I think I like this a little better. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're starting to look at Newport Harbor. This isn't the bridge we sailed under, but it's close. Looming out here is the bridge that connects this part of the bay.
It's gone. I need money. Honey. Money, honey. Come on, I need money for the toll booth.
Right, little bit of regatta time down in Newport Harbor. Oh crap, the battery's going. Oh, hang on, honey. Just stay with me a little while longer. No.
Should I drive faster? Make him sick?
Stay well, little harbor, stay well. This is where we saw everything Shamrock. Wonderful shit, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
Make sure you're at point 2 on.
Yeah, great pictures of the sky. It's absolutely beautiful. This is where we were. This is what we did. Thank you, little Duracell. You did well.